I apologize for being cynical here. Then I'm thinking when you get 50 of the 51 electors who have gathered who are Democrat, they necessarily are not going to switch their votes as a result. Is this really about hurting Donald Trump and the credibility of his election and nothing more?
This is really about finding out the truth about what role the Russians played in hacking our election.
You do the same if it were reversed.
If it was reversed, Neil, you know and I know that the congressional Republicans would already have held hearings first thing Monday morning.
Oh,
so
I don't know
let's
that,
be real.
but you would be the same. You would be urging the same meeting of electors to study this information.
We have to find out the information. We've asked for declassification of information from this administration.
You would have the same zeal and robust attitude about getting this out and to the public.
I would want to know if they hacked the election on behalf of. I'm always for more transparency. Always for more transparency. If I thought my party was going to be subject to blackmail by Russia, you're darn right I'd want to see that information.
Do you think Hillary Clinton lost this election in the electoral vote? Do you think Hillary Clinton lost this election in the electoral vote?
I think that Hillary Clinton was severely damaged by the hacking of her emails and the DNC emails that went on a drip, drip, drip basis every day for 3 months.
So you
every
think
day
this
instead
Russian
of waking up and talking about the economy, they woke up and talked about. Absolutely.
So you think it wasn't her message that didn't reach voters who were subject to high unemployment states like Wisconsin and Michigan, that wasn't what did her in? This thing did her in?
No, I think that there are several factors in winning and losing. Look, if 80,000 people had voted differently in this election,
the Russians didn't make her lose. She lost.
No, I don't know that you can say that. What if Donald Trump had lost the election? Would you say it was one single factor?
All right, so
would you say it was an array of factors?
So this is a contributing factor. You are trying to get electors who are herefore bound to the Republican candidate, Republican states, to switch their
That's not what
allegiance, right?
Don't put words in my mouth, Neil. Neil Cavuto, you owe it to the American people to let me tell the truth and to not lie about what I just said. Yeah, Alex Jones said the same thing about me yesterday. Alex Jones and InfoWars has said that I want to have a coup and assassinate Donald Trump. Since then, I've gotten death threats, so it's not helpful for me if you're going to lie about what I am saying.
Christine, Donald Trump doesn't come on my show.
That is not helpful for me. It's not safe for me or for my family or for other electors. Please don't do that.
He doesn't come on this show. I have no agenda here. I'm just saying it seems that you do.
Well, no, then don't put words in my mouth, Neil, that you know are going to antagonize people and make me unsafe.
Christine, come on. You want the electors to get this information?
Neil, you need to make sure that you understand what your role is here.
Do you want them to switch their votes, yes or no?
What I want to do is get the information. What I want to do is not have you mischaracterize what I say so that I get even more death threats and more insults and more online attacks than I'm already getting. Part of the reason that Republicans won't sign on to my letter is some of them have said to me point blank, I don't want to get that kind of blowback. I want a hearing. I want a briefing. I want a declassification.
You wouldn't even know the half of
but I don't want to get the threats
when I raise critical stories about either candidate. What I'm asking you, though, is please don't
put words in my mouth. Then
I wish I could get any accurate words out of your mouth, Christine. I want to know.
Excuse me. You've gotten many accurate words out of my mouth. Please don't call me a liar, Neil.
When you're telling the electors, this would be a first. You want the electors to get this intelligence data. I'm taking the leap that it will prove that Russia acted to interfere in the elections, that Russia moved to hack the elections. Wait a minute, I'm going to, just for the sake of argument. Then, what do you want the electors to do with that information?
I haven't seen it, so I can't prejudge it. Right now, what I want is the information. What I want is for you not to put words in my mouth that will risk my safety. What I want you to do is discuss accurately what I am saying, which is the public has a right to know,
you want them to have this information,
have a right to know.
Do what with it? Do what with it? What if all the Republicans look at this information and they look at it and they vote the way they were voted in their states? You, Christine Pelosi, would be okay with that? Yes or no?
What I want first is to get the information. I'm not going to prejudge something I have not seen. I do not know what it is that the Democratic Party or the Republican Party is facing vis-a-vis possible blackmail threats, possible continuing hacking threats. But I'm very concerned about it as an American citizen. And I'm certainly concerned about it as a member of the Electoral College. So it's not just what the electors do, it's what the senators do. in their confirmation stuff. So when all is said and done, let's get the information and talk about it.
When all is said and done, will you ever look at what happened in the election as a sign that Hillary Clinton didn't win it because Hillary Clinton botched it, because Hillary Clinton's message didn't resonate, period?
Well, I think that as I said before, when someone wins or loses an election, there isn't just one factor. Again, if 80,000 people
did Hillary Clinton
make
any mistakes at all?
Do we say that? Well, I've been complaining about mistakes that were made since the beginning. So do you want me to go back and talk about the comments I made on the record in the summer of 2015?
I might have missed that, Christine. Where did she botch it?
All right, let's start, I think, chronologically. Let's go back a year and a half ago. I thought that the Democratic National Committee officials who were trying to limit the number of presidential debates made a mistake, and I told them that.
That's fair.
Several times. I thought that, and said that publicly at the Democratic National Committee meeting in August of 2015, when we were fighting to have a very robust economic message, including the Fight for 15 resolution that I authored and that we passed.
That's fair.
I was hoping that we would have more opportunity to mobilize the grassroots around that message. Instead, that request fell on deaf ears.
All right,
I'm sure
so let's
that's
fast forward to the general election. Any final verdict there where Hillary Clinton might have botched?
Sanders staffers were accused of taking some of the information off the voter files. You might remember that the response of the DNC was to cut the entire Sanders campaign off from taking a look at those records.
In the general election, any comments on the? We're now in the general election. Any comments there?
You can't do that. That's the equivalent of the death penalty for a campaign the day before a debate. So there have been several times when
in the general election, one thing in the general election she botched. One thing, Christine, that she botched in the general election.
I felt that once we had come out of the convention and done very well, I thought that what we needed to do was to have a more robust cooperation to help the down-ticket races. I would have liked to have seen that. Like everybody else, I think that everybody else who was making calls to swing states, more phone calls, more presence by the candidate is better. And I haven't looked at all of the data, but what I see, and I don't fault Hillary Clinton for this per se, because she's receiving information from her analysts. But one of the things we're talking about as members of the Democratic National Committee, as we pick our new chair, is what was the targeting data? Did they understand the report that we gave to our congressional candidates in June that talked about where Trump had done well?
Hillary, you're fired. Fired. Everybody's always blaming me for everything.
Now project the winner of the presidential race. CNN projects Donald Trump wins the presidency.
All the boys for Trump yelling mega. All the girls for Trump yelling mega. All the veterans for Trump yelling mega. Stand up, get the mega yelling louder. Make America great again. Make America great again.